What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and today we have some extremely major MCU news about the one and only Doctor Doom. There is a lot coming up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including Avengers Secret Wars, which in the comics, Doctor Doom, in both stories of Secret Wars, plays a huge role in. So is Marvel Studios planning for that to be the same in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, introducing Doctor Doom to be a major player in not just upcoming projects like the Fantastic Four, but in the new Avengers films that we have coming up as well? Don't worry, Doctor Doom is going to be around far long after Secret Wars comes and goes, but it looks like his MCU debut is not that far away, seeing as how they have reportedly offered a role to a particular actor. We'll break down everything you need to know, including where Doctor Doom could pop up in the MCU in this video. But first, big reminder that we start a new monthly giveaway. Today, I'll announce the winner for August in tomorrow's video, so look out for that. But today starts a new giveaway for September. If you want to enter for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items, just subscribe to the channel and leave comments on our videos. We pick a random comment on a random video for a winner, and the winner gets to pick one prize, and we pick a winner at the end of each month. So according to a recent report, the actor Josh Hartnett has been offered the role of Doctor Doom. This is coming from insider Jeff Snyder on the Hot Mic podcast. Now, right off the bat, I think this is an incredible choice. Josh Hartnett is one of my favorite actors. He stars in one of my favorite movies, Lucky Number 11. If you haven't seen that, check it out. And of course, he is known for huge roles like Pearl Harbor and Black Hawk Down. And he was also recently in Oppenheimer. So needless to say, a big name actor, huge actor, which is kind of what you probably want for Doctor Doom, because you're going to want the actor who's playing him to nail the role. And I really think that Josh Hartnett could do this. Doctor Doom is possibly the greatest Marvel villain to ever exist. And one of the reasons that he's so great is that there are so many different aspects to him. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he is extremely evil. Sometimes even when he's bad, he has to team up with good people for the sake of the entire universe, because of course Doctor Doom can't have somebody else dominate the universe, or the multiverse for that matter. He's an incredibly powerful sorcerer. He even teams up with Doctor Strange to go into the Hell Dimension to take on Mephisto. Of course, he is a classic Fantastic Four villain, but not just to the Fantastic Four, pretty much to everybody. In the Secret Wars story in the comics, he becomes God Emperor Doom, where Doctor Strange works for him, and he has a whole Thor Corps where a bunch of different variants of Thor work for him as well. Plus, not to mention, he is a genius and he's incredibly sophisticated and suave. And I think Josh Hartnett could really pull off this character. But right away, go ahead and let us know your thoughts about this down below. Do you think Josh Hartnett would make a good Doctor Doom? Now, as far as where Doctor Doom could pop up first in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I know a lot of people are thinking the Fantastic Four reboot movie. Obviously, he is a huge Fantastic Four villain. His origins are rooted right next to Reed Richards. They went to the same college. They were even roommates. So on the surface, it would seem like a pretty obvious choice to include or introduce Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four film. However, this might not be the case. According to some insider reports that we've heard in the past, there isn't really much plans for Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four reboot movie. From what we've heard, Galactus is going to be the main villain of the film. Now, don't get me wrong. Anything could change right now, especially since the industry is dealing with writer strikes and actor strikes right now. Marvel Studios could be coming up with ideas right now for the Fantastic Four film, and when the writers come back, they could say, hey, we've actually decided to change a few things, and we're going to put Doctor Doom in this movie now. So we're not really sure about that, but previous reports have stated that Doctor Doom isn't going to be in the Fantastic Four movie, and if he is, he's either going to be just kind of hinted at or slightly introduced, and they're going to try to make it pretty casual and not seem like a pretty big deal. But of course, to us major Marvel fans, we'll know, and of course we'll freak out. But again, anything could change during this time of the strikes. Now, if this is true and he's not going to be introduced in the Fantastic Four, then what movie will he be introduced in? Well, our next thought is Avengers Secret Wars, or somewhere in between Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. I don't think it makes too much sense for him to jump into Kang Dynasty right away. That's pretty much going to be about the new Avengers team taking on Kang the Conqueror, in which we believe Kang is going to win. We believe it's pretty much going to be like Avengers Infinity War, where Thanos wins at the end and then Endgame is where the heroes come in and kind of avenge what happened in Infinity War. So it's going to be pretty much the same for Kang Dynasty. We believe Kang is going to win, and the multiverse is either going to be completely destroyed or ruled entirely by Kang the Conqueror. And this is where they're going to need to start to try and fix the multiverse and defeat Kang. And if you're trying to fix the multiverse and you're getting people like the smartest man alive involved, Reed Richards, then it would make sense to probably get Victor Von Doom involved. He is still a genius, and perhaps his origin in the MCU won't exactly be evil. Perhaps Secret Wars makes him evil. Now, I am hoping the rivalry with Reed Richards is there, because that is what gives him a major push. The realization that somebody out there was more advanced, was stronger, and was actually capable of controlling not only one universe, but multiple universes. Perhaps Kang the Conqueror is what pushes him to become Doctor Doom. Now, I do have a theory about what could possibly happen in Avengers Secret Wars. Yes, he could appear in some film in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, and they could seek his help to try and figure out a way to fix the multiverse by helping Reed Richards. But if he appears in Secret Wars, then perhaps we could see a slight variation of a comic story from Secret Wars play out in the MCU. In one of the Secret Wars stories, it's revealed that the Beyonder took all of the heroes and all of the villains and separated them, saved their lives from a destroyed multiverse, but pinned them against each other and basically said, whoever wins, I will grant you your biggest desire. I'll give you whatever you want. But ultimately, what ends up happening is Doctor Doom takes the power of the Beyonder and becomes God Emperor Doom, and then he rules over Battleworld. It is possible that something like this could happen in the MCU. However, instead of the Beyonder, it will be Kang. But perhaps Doctor Doom could take Kang's technology, because this is right in Doctor Doom's wheelhouse. He would see somebody that is more technologically advanced than himself, and he would want all of that technology that that person had. So if Doctor Doom sees Kang, he's definitely going to scheme and try to figure out how to get Kang's technology away from him and use that for himself. And if he does get his hands on it, perhaps that could be how Doctor Doom becomes a major villain in the MCU. Now, I think a variation of this could happen. However, I do believe the focus will stay on Prime Kang or Kang the Conqueror, but perhaps a version of Victor Von Doom could pop up from a different universe who has taken over Kang and has his technology. He could show up and try to help the Avengers fight the Prime Kang. But no matter what, even in this scenario, like I mentioned, Victor Von Doom is always scheming. And sometimes, yes, he does have to fight with the heroes in order to defeat a greater villain, but Victor Von Doom is always trying to end up on top himself. He hates to lose. And not to mention, in the comics, there is a point in time where Kang kind of gets time displaced and he runs into Doctor Doom, and he believes that Doctor Doom might be an ancestor of his. In fact, that's how we get the Scarlet Centurion. Kang models his armor of the Scarlet Centurion after the armor of Doctor Doom. So there actually are connections between Kang the Conqueror and Victor Von Doom. And there is a precedent in Marvel Comics for Doctor Doom to take control over who's left out of all of the heroes and villains when the multiverse gets destroyed. This is a storyline that could play out that could keep the focus on Kang the Conqueror. They could have a little side story for Doctor Doom, but ultimately keep the focus on Kang, but sets up Doctor Doom to be the next big bad of Phase 7, Phase 8, Phase 9, whatever they're going to call the next saga. Because we obviously know that Doctor Doom is not a one and done villain. He's a major villain. Like I mentioned, one of the absolute best villains in Marvel history. So when they do introduce him, don't expect him to be one and done, but expect him to be around for a pretty long time. At least we hope. It would be an absolute shame if Doctor Doom only appeared in the multiverse saga for 1 or 2 movies. But considering how the Fantastic Four are going to be a pretty big part of the MCU moving forward after Secret Wars, I'm assuming Doctor Doom is going to be a pretty big part of it too. And this really would set him up big time to be a big villain in the next phase. If Galactus is the true villain of the MCU's Fantastic Four debut film, then you know the next movie will probably have Doctor Doom as the main villain. Or perhaps they could even just skip that and go right to having him be the next Avengers villain. Because I do believe Josh Hartnett is going to be cast as the main villain of this universe, our main universe, not a variant from another universe, but our universe. Otherwise, this casting wouldn't really be that big of a deal, but it looks like Marvel Studios could have a major player coming to the MCU as Doctor Doom, Josh Hartnett, which again, I'm really excited about and I think is a really great choice. But let us know your thoughts about all of this in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.